Okay, hi everyone. I'm gonna start this tutorial on the simple Hello World program. Okay, so we have opened our project and we've named it, we've saved it, and that. So now we want to start. So first we do the include iostream. This is a library which allows us to use code from that library in our project to help us with like different functions, such as the cout function, which allows us to output different things like statements to the user and so on. So after we've done that, we can use the using namespace std, and this simply allows us to just save space without having to use the namespace all the time with the cout functions and the cin functions and all that stuff. So yeah, that's done, and then we move on to this line, which is the int main. This is where all the main this is the main function basically, and it holds the main pieces of code for the project itself. So inside that, we've opened our curly brackets as well, and in C++ we always need to use these curly brackets when we're performing a function, or basically. So yeah, inside we're going to write cout and then two of these arrows, and cout is, as I briefly mentioned before, is a function from the iostream library, and it allows us to output things to the user or print things on the screen to the user. So yeah, cout, and then we open speech marks and we say hello world. And then at the end of this we end it with end l, and this is basically end line, which basically shifts or stops at the end of the line. What this does is it ends the line basically. So yeah. And at the end we say return 0, and we do this because it refers back to the int main here. Basically this, as it's an integer, we have to return a value at the end, and the easiest one to do is 0 because it just allows us to know that the program ran successfully. So yeah, we go ahead and save that, and we build it, and we can see there's no errors, so we're free to go. And we run it, and then we go. We've got our hello world right there. So yeah, okay, I wanted to move on swiftly and talk about variables. And a variable can be any type of data type. It can be a integer, character, string, boolean, float, double, etc. So I'm going to show you how to declare a variable, and declaring a variable is really important because it it allows us to do different things with the variable. Okay, so when we declare a variable, we always declare it with the data type at the beginning. So we write string, and then we name the variable, and then let's say name, which really isn't a good name, and then we assign the variable to what it's going to store. So let's say hello world, and then we don't forget our semicolon at the end. So moving on to the cout function, we can clear all this, and then what our variable allows us to do is it allows us to use like an indirect. So what we'll do is, like, we'll say name there, we'll put name there, and then what the function will do is it will go through it, and then it will say, oh, name, what's name equals this, so that's what I'm going to output. So let's save that, build that, and run that. So yeah, there we go. There's our statement used through a variable. So yeah. Okay, so moving on, we can also do this with integers, floats, doubles, etc. And I'm just going to show you how to declare other variables. So when we declare an integer, we don't say integer, we just say int. So there you go, and then we say, let's say age equals, and let's say we want to find out the age of someone. So let's say we're making a program to find out the age of the user. So we can just assign it to 0. When we're looking for, or when we're attempting to get the user to input something, we always assign it to 0, because that's what it needs to be at the beginning, just to avoid confusion in the program. So let's clear this. Okay. And let's ask the user to input their age. Okay. And for us to actually retrieve data from the user, we need something called a cin, and this is also from the IOStream library. This allows us to store what we've taken from the user into our variable. So we'll say here cin age, and then the age of the user will be stored inside that variable. So this 0 will be disregarded, and then our new age will be stored in that variable. And then let's test it by saying cout age. Okay, alright, let's save this, build this, no errors, and this one, this. Okay, let's say I'm 18, so say 18, and then it's asked us first of all, please enter your age, then it's taken in my age, then it's output my age. So there you go. It's pretty straightforward, but it can be a bit confusing.